Hello everybody, I am Gareth Morgan from WhatCulture Wrestling.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture Wrestling, making a cheeky Sunday cameo. We're going to talk a lot about AEW Full Gear today. I'm going to tell you all about who won the World Title Eliminator Tournament and will now face the winner of the night's main event. And on top of that, there were some pretty cool cameos, one in particular in the Elite Deletion.
And I'm going to talk about a number of title changes that went down at this incredible event that we all super enjoyed and just thought was amazing. And also, I'm going to tell you what went down in that Chris Jericho MJF match. Did he join the Inner Circle? Did he not? Well, I'm going to let you know. So the first thing we're going to talk about is those title changes. And probably the biggest one of the night is the fact that Young Bucks are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. It happened. Obviously, the stipulation going into this match was if they didn't win this big one, this huge, highly anticipated match that we'd waited so long for, then they would never get another shot at these belts. And yeah, a lot of people were thinking that's just crazy. You can't have this stipulation because FTR are on such a streak. They're just going to lose this. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Well, it did make sense because it made for a hell of a match. Matt Jackson sold his knee all the way through it and his ankle, and you just thought, just leave his leg alone. Leave it. I know these were like strangely being depicted as the heels going in, but my soul was breaking every time they went near his leg. I was like, stop it. Don't touch it. Don't touch the leg. And then in the end, it was just the drama, the stakes were right up there. I think it was Cash Wheeler did a 450 springboard splash thing attempt, which is the most un-FTR thing ever, which proved to be the chink in their armor. And then Matt Jackson didn't have his boot on at one point because they'd attacked his ankle so much, and he barefoot super kicked him in the face. And yeah, they had a really emotional celebration because they'd finally won the big one in AEW, and I'm just overcome with joy because I really enjoyed this match. What do you think, Andy Murray?
Yeah, man, it was really well played on the whole. The social media reaction to this in particular kind of told the story of how well received this was, watching it in the moment and so forth. It's a really cool finish as well. You know, FTR saying, hey, look, Young Bucks, we can do flippy stuff as well. Oh no, we lost. So really neat and tidy stuff, and you know, it's the first time the Young Bucks have had the AEW Tag Team Championships, obviously. A lot of people might have thought this would have come before or come earlier or whatever. Here we are, man. Looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Big time. It was, it was just probably the finish that a lot of people wanted, but maybe weren't expecting just purely because of the way FDR were going into this event. So I'm over the moon with it. Do you want me to go into my next story now, or would you like to take away with yours?
Let's fire into the second title defense of the evening.
Oh yeah, of course. You know what? Do you know what this is, Andy Murray? This is sleep deprivation.
This is what it is, man. This is what happens when you stay up until 5 a.m. and then get 2 hours sleep and trudge across Gateshead to sit in this seat so you can give the people what they want. You suffer for your art.
You do. No other matches happened on it. No. Darby Allin won the TNT Championship. How can I forget this? This was another. This is the thing I love about Full Gear as an event, and it's why it'll have so much rewatchable value going backwards and everything else, because every single match felt so distinct and different. And this specifically was following, I believe it was the third match. Was it the third or the second match on the card?
I believe it was the third match on the card.
Right, so it was following, you had the tournament, the AEW tournament eliminator match, and then I believe which was the second one again?
Silver and Cassidy. There we go.
How could I forget that? So you had this like comedic brilliance of that match as well, and then you had this, which just felt like typical Cody match. It just felt like a proper old school classic match where you had this all-conquering champion and then this underdog challenger just not dying. Darby Allin just did not die all the way through this match, and in the end he got the better of Cody, and obviously they've met. This was the fourth time I believe they've met over the last year or so, however long it is, and he finally got the better of him, and then he got absolutely mauled by Team Taz. He got battered, and instant sympathy for Darby Allin. I was like, yeah, he's dead. Great. Yeah. And he got thrown through a weird. It didn't look like a spotlight. It just looked like somebody had covered like a little space with a piece of plastic and just gone, right, that'll be perfect to throw somebody through. And as it looked like they were going to break his arm in the middle of a car door, which, yeah, sounds about right for Team Taz, Will Hobbs just came off and just chased them all away. And it looked like he almost smacked Darby Allin's arm on top of the car door with his, was it a bat or a crowbar or something? He had had a weapon.
Yeah,
It might be a steel chair, maybe.
He was swinging that chair, man. He was swinging
That's
it
it.
all over the place. I'm very happy for Darby Allin. And my personal match of the night, Cody versus Darby Allin. Even more so, even just above my second favourite match of the night, which is the one I'm about to talk about right here. How's that for a transition? I've stumbled on that. It wasn't on purpose.
It's Sunday, man. You're forgiven.
There we go. Kenny Omega defeating Hangman Page in the opening match of the evening to win the world title Eliminator tournament. He now has a guaranteed world title shot. There's no word on when exactly that'll be. Revolution is almost 4 months away, so that would be quite a while to wait. But he, as things stand, if Jon Moxley keeps hold of the world title, it's going to be Omega and Moxley in AEW again. How could you be angry at that? It came following a really tremendous opener. There was no messing around whatsoever. They didn't do any, a terrible amount of melodrama or I don't want to hurt my buddy, I don't want to do this to him. They just kicked the crap out of each other. They went for a more condensed, harder hitting format than the long epic that we're sometimes used to from Kenny Omega. And in the end, Kenny just puts Hangman away. He struggles for a little bit to get the head down for the one-winged angel, but that's the most protected wrestling move in the world. And when he hits that thing, it's done. The anxious millennial cowboy goes back to being an anxious millennial cowboy after bringing the fight to Kenny Omega in a white-hot opener. Kenny Omega's back. The best bout machine is here. You got to think the cleaner's just around the corner as well. Just a fabulous way to open the night. Kenny's getting a title shot, brother. Good stuff.
It really is, and I felt like this match did wonders for both characters coming out of it, because like you said, Kenny's just coming out feeling like the hottest star in the company at this point, rising up, just becoming this super contender again, just really fulfilling exactly what kind of a star he, it feels rude to say can be, because we know he is. It just feels like he's finally bringing that to AEW. He's been given that platform now to do that. And I just love the sympathy, the sheer sympathy I had for Hangman all the way through it. It did. And a lot of people coming into this match may said, oh, that's probably the predictable finish. Kenny's going to win. Hangman, you're going to feel sorry for like in the wake of it. But yeah, that is what we wanted. That's what this needed. You needed to feel sorry for Hangman. And then when he was in that one-winged angel at the end, and you could just see him batting it off, going, no. I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Like, if anyone knows how to get out of this finisher, it's him, with the history and everything else. But just couldn't escape it. And I cannot wait. And I think you called this on Twitter, if I remember rightly. I cannot wait for about a year or so, whenever it is, when these two do meet in the middle of the ring. There is a big old belt on the line, and he goes for that one-winged angel, and he does get out of it.
Yeah.
They mirror that whole exchange, and he just scurries away, gets out, and goes for that buckshot lariat, and just smacks his head off.
Yeah, that's the move, isn't it? I think Hangman's going to win the belt from Kenny at some point, a year or so from now, and we're all going to cry. It's going to be beautiful.
I can't wait. But speaking of moments that probably didn't make me cry, this one made me chuckle more than anything, because it was just brilliant, and it came at a perfect time of the night where I think we just had that Elite Deletion match, which wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. Maybe dragged a little bit, but if you're into that kind of thing, great. I'm sure you loved it. But after this, we had MJF taking on Chris Jericho, and if MJF did win this match, he got welcomed into the Inner Circle, which was such a huge, high-stakes thing. MJF came into the match with his entrance, and he did the Jericho jacket light thing, which just filled me with joy. I was like, yes, this is the trolling I need right now. I love it. And they had a great match. I think MJF really excelled in this match in terms of showing off what he can actually do in the ring. I feel like he was trying to show off to Jericho, show what he's capable of as a star and what he could bring to the Inner Circle, which I think because MJF's so good outside of the ring, on the mic and everything else, and just his creative brain, just being an absolute dick, he's got so many different facets to his game that his actual in-ring ability does get a bit overlooked every now and again. But I think he went for a 450 at one point, a springboard 450, and just like, oh no, I think it might have been a lion salt. I think he went for the lion salt. And the speed he did it, and the athleticism, I was like, whoa, did not know you could do that. But that was pretty impressive. Jericho as well looked really good in this match. He was just turning back the years. He looked great. And then in the end, I loved it because we had a Little Eddie Guerrero-esque tribute because it was just a perfect outsmarting tactic there from MJF. Jericho managed to distract, or I think Wardlow distracted Aubrey Edwards, and Jericho got his bat looked like he was going to smack MJF in the head with it. MJF thought on his feet, showing that he's just the brilliant brain that the Inner Circle truly needs right now. Dropped to the floor, and yeah, he did the full Eddie Guerrero. And then Jericho was stood there with the bat going, oh, didn't really do that, and just threw the bat away. And Aubrey Edwards got the bat, pulled the bat away from him, went and got distracted again, and then MJF rolled him up for the victory. And him and Wardlow are joining the Inner Circle, and I love the way this played out afterwards, because you just had like Jericho being a bit upset because he just lost in such a big stage, and then understanding what he's just gained somebody who's clever enough to do that to him, so he's like, oh, this could work out really well for us. Wardlow was a bit like, yeah, okay, I'm with you, MJF, let's see what goes on here. And Jake Hager was just like, nope, bad idea.
Yeah, he was stoic as all hell. Yeah, this told, again, a really neat story on the night of Jericho trying to coax the biggest dickhead possible out of MJF, and then at the end, when he loses, almost being proud of him. Like, hey, you can be a prick on my level. You might work in this situation. But there's always going to be like an aggressive undercurrent to their relationship, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. So, good stuff, man. Good stuff. And do you know what else is good stuff? Gangrel. Gangrel was on this pay-per-view. My brother from another vampiric mother. He showed up in the aforementioned Elite Deletion alongside Hurricane Helms. So those were your two big cameos in that match. There were interferences as well from Private Party and Santana and Ortiz, who kind of cancelled each other out, interfering on Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara's behalfs. But Gangrel and Hurricane Helms, man. Hurricane got thrown into the lake of reincarnation twice. He came out first as Gregory Helms, the intrepid reporter, interviewing Sammy, saying, hey, is this feud snake bitten? So, nice little meta comment there, as we're used to in these kind of matches. And then Gangrel showed up as a masked man, taking the Hurricane hostage, saying, Matt Hardy, I was your mentor, and I was Sammy's mentor, but you were a bad guy, and Sammy was always loyal to me. So Gangrel joined the fight on the side of Sammy Guevara. The match itself was big and silly, and a lot more violent than I was thinking it was going to be as well. Like, the finish was just disgusting in kind of a good way. But obviously the highlight for me was my close personal friend and hero, Gangrel, showing up on an AEW pay-per-view. I tell you what, man, if they don't book Gangrel for AEW Dark right now, what the hell is the point? But it's always fun to see the old guys come in for a little cameo, and I'm sure they had a lot of fun putting this together.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway for me for this match is the fact that it felt like three different matches. It felt like you had the little kickstart where you had Matt and Sammy trying to kill each other with trucks. Like, Matt tried to run him over with a monster truck at one point. And then you had like the impromptu tag match bit in the middle, where it just turned into like a 2-on-2 and then a 6-man tag. And then you had probably 4 matches. You had like all the reincarnation stuff, and then you just had the Dome of Deletion, which felt like a thing just unto itself. Like, it was, like you said, it was just so extreme. You had like the Swanton Senton thing off the ladder from Sammy, and then you had like the callback to the fact that obviously when Matt Hardy at all out, he banged his head because he got like speared through the table. They did like a little callback to that, which again, like, I'm not 100% sure if Sammy's injury in that match was legit or it was staged. Like, if they like put a bit of fake blood on, hope it was the fake blood, because if it was legit, eerie. But then, yeah, the chair to the head at the end, I was just I don't know what it is. Even if that is pulled off perfectly and it's super safe, it's the same when it happened with Randy Orton and Edge and they kept smacking. It's just the sound and just the imagery is just, it'll never not make me shudder. So yeah, it did what it had to do, that match.
Yeah, very effective way to finish it off, I think, because, these matches are silly and wacky, but if you can end it on like a real shocking piece of violence, that's a different gear, isn't it? It's a full gear. Really terrible pun. Now would be a good time for us to end this on that pun.
Run away.
Yeah, let's take it home, brother. Thank you, friends, and people who hate us as well, for joining us today for this weird Sunday tag team video. But hey, man, when there's a pay-per-view on a Saturday night, we're going to be here. You can follow us on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Send us your questions, send us your dog pictures. We like those as well. You can find Gareth on Twitter at
GMorgan04. You can find Andy on Twitter at
Andy H. Murray. The H today stands for Happy Birthday, Ted DiBiase Jr. Shout outs to our editor, Ben Roy Turner, who I'm sure treats Ted DiBiase Jr.'s birthday as some kind of national holiday. Bye.
See you later.